A 180-pound Presa Canario sat at a dead man's gate for 2 days and 2 nights. He didn't move, he didn't eat, he just waited. 3 rescues turned him away. His owner's only family said no without even stepping out of the car. And then a single mother with a 7-month-old baby girl did something nobody in that town expected. She opened the gate. What happened next and what Cerberus did at exactly 3 a.m. 4 months later will change everything you thought you knew about the most feared breed on Earth. Walter Hayes was 71 years old, retired, widowed, a former iron worker from a small town outside Knoxville, Tennessee, with hands like concrete and a voice like gravel dragged across a tin roof. He had no children, no close friends left. What he had was Cerberus, a 180-pound brindle Presa Canario, dark as burned wood, with a chest like an oil drum and eyes that looked straight through you. Walter had raised him from 8 weeks old. For 9 years, they ate together, walked together, and slept in the same house. Cerberus had never known another human, not one. And on a cold Thursday morning in November, while Walter was stacking firewood in the backyard, his heart simply stopped. He was gone before he hit the ground. The neighbor who found them said Cerberus was lying pressed against Walter's side, still, not howling, not pacing, just there, with his enormous head resting across the man's chest, as if he could hold him in place by sheer will alone. It took 3 animal control officers to move him, and even then, even after they loaded Walter into the ambulance and the driveway went quiet, Cerberus walked back to the gate at the edge of the property and sat down. He stayed there for 47 hours, through rain, through dark, through every car that slowed down and then kept driving. Walter's only living relative was a nephew named Craig, who drove up from Nashville. Craig sat in his car at the end of the driveway, looked at the 180-pound animal staring back at him from the gate, and called his wife. The call lasted 4 minutes. Then he put the car in reverse and left. He didn't even get out. 3 rescues said the same thing. Too large, too bonded, too old. Presa Canarios with that kind of single-owner history almost never readapt. One shelter coordinator was blunt about it. That dog has loved exactly one person in 9 years. The chances of him trusting anyone else are almost zero. But the real story was just beginning, and some stories refuse to end where everyone expected them to. Sarah Connell was 29 years old, a night shift pharmacy technician from the same county, raising her daughter Lily alone in a rented farmhouse 6 miles from Walter's property. Lily was 7 months old. Sarah hadn't slept more than 4 consecutive hours since the birth. She drove past Walter's gate every morning on her way home from work, and for 3 mornings in a row, she saw Cerberus sitting there. Same spot, same posture, same eyes locked on the road. On the 4th morning, she pulled over. She didn't have a plan. She would tell you that herself. She got out of the car, walked to the gate, and crouched down. Cerberus didn't move toward her. He didn't back away either. He just looked at her, that deep, ancient, exhausted look, and Sarah said the only thing she could think of. "I know. Me too." She signed the adoption paperwork 3 days later. The shelter coordinator called her twice to make sure she understood what she was taking on. A 180-pound dog with 0 socialization history outside one elderly man, a 7-month-old baby in the house, a farmhouse with no fence. Sarah told her she understood. She signed anyway. Stories like this exist because someone, somewhere, decides to see what everyone else walked away from. This is the kind of story that deserves to be heard. The first week was brutal. Cerberus wouldn't enter the house past a kitchen. He ate only if Sarah sat on the floor next to his bowl, not petting him, not talking, just present. He slept in the doorway between the kitchen and the hallway, his body blocking the passage completely, 180 pounds of muscle and grief wedged into the frame like a living deadbolt. Sarah had to step over him 6 times a night for Lily's feedings. She didn't ask him to move, not once. "I see you're still watching, but you haven't subscribed yet. Honestly, that stings a little. Hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what comes next." The turning point came on a Tuesday. Lily was in her bouncer in the kitchen floor, making the high-pitched sound that means she's about to lose it entirely. Sarah was on the phone with her insurance company, already running on 3 hours of sleep, already on the edge. She watched from the hallway as Cerberus, who had not moved voluntarily toward any living thing since Walter died, stood up slowly, walked to within 2 feet of Lily's bouncer, and lay down, not touching her, just close. Lily stopped fussing almost immediately. She stared at Cerberus. Cerberus stared back. And for 11 minutes, the kitchen was completely quiet. Sarah stood in the hallway and didn't breathe. From that day forward, something shifted. Cerberus began moving through the house differently, no longer a grieving animal mapping an unfamiliar space, but something more deliberate. He started positioning himself near the front door when strangers came, at the foot of Lily's crib at night, at the top of the porch steps when Sarah walked to her car. He wasn't performing. He wasn't trained to do any of it. He was simply doing what 9 years with Walter Hayes had built into his core, finding the person who needed guarding most and staying. Some bonds don't transfer, they expand. By the second month, Cerberus had a routine. Every morning at 6:15, he would stand outside Sarah's bedroom door and exhale, one long, slow breath until she stirred. Not a bark, not a whine, just a breath, like a patient reminder that the day needed to begin. Every evening, he carried Lily's stuffed rabbit from wherever it had been left and placed it beside the crib before Sarah came in for the last feeding. He did this without being asked, without being rewarded. He did it because it needed to be done. Sarah started sleeping through the night for the first time in 8 months. She told her sister about it on the phone. Her sister said, "That's sweet." Sarah tried to explain it wasn't sweet exactly. It was something older than that, something that didn't have a clean word in English. Her sister didn't quite understand, but Cerberus did, and that was enough. Then came the night that proved every single person wrong. It was a Thursday in March. Lily was 11 months old. Sarah had worked a double shift and was asleep by 9:30 p.m. At exactly 3 a.m., she woke to a sound she had never heard Cerberus make. Not a bark, not a growl, something lower, something that came from a place beneath sound, a vibration she felt in her sternum before she heard it with her ears. She was out of bed before she was fully awake. Cerberus was standing at the base of the stairs, completely still, facing the back of the house, every muscle locked, his eyes fixed on the rear window above the kitchen sink. Sarah grabbed her phone. She looked at the window, a shape, a man, standing in her backyard with a flashlight pointed at the ground, moving slowly toward the back door. Sarah called 911. She whispered the address. She didn't move from the stairs. What happened next took less than 30 seconds. The man reached the back door. He tried the handle, and then Cerberus stepped into the kitchen, all 180 pounds of him, and placed himself directly in front of the door. He didn't bark, he didn't lunge, he simply appeared in the window glass like a wall that had grown legs. The flashlight outside went still, then it swung sideways, then it was gone. The deputy arrived 6 minutes later. She told Sarah that a string of break-ins had hit the county over the past 3 weeks. 7 homes, every one of them entered while the occupants slept. Sarah's farmhouse was the only one on the route the suspect hadn't touched. The deputy looked at Cerberus sitting at Sarah's feet, calm as stone, and said, "I see why." 3 rescues said he was unadoptable. Craig couldn't get out of his car. An entire county had written off a 180-pound dog because he loved one person too completely to love another. They were wrong. Every single one of them was wrong. Today, Cerberus is 10 years old. He still sleeps in the hallway between the kitchen and the stairs. Same position, same doorway, same quiet vigilance. Lily is 14 months now. She pulls his ears without consequence. She falls asleep against his side at least 3 times a week, and every morning at 6:15, without fail, Cerberus stands outside Sarah's door and exhales once, a slow, certain breath, and waits. Walter Hayes taught him how to love a person completely. Cerberus just turned out to have more room than anyone gave him credit for. 9 years with one man didn't close him off. It built him into something steady, something that knew exactly what a home was supposed to feel like and refused to stop looking for one. Because being a guardian doesn't require aggression. Cerberus never bared his teeth in that kitchen. He simply showed up, massive, immovable, certain, and let the darkness decide whether it wanted to test him. It didn't. It never does. The world is full of things that retreat when something refuses to flinch. Cerberus had spent 9 years learning how to be that thing, and on a Thursday night in March, at exactly 3 a.m., every single one of those years paid off. There is a version of this story where Craig gets out of the car, where one of those 3 rescues makes a different call, where nobody pulls over at the gate on the 4th morning. In that version, Cerberus spends his final years in a kennel, and Lily grows up in a house with no one standing watch. That version exists. It happens every single day in shelters across this country, to dogs that nobody stopped for. Sarah stopped. That is the whole story. That is the only miracle here. If you're thinking about adopting a dog that everyone else has walked past, the older one, the too large one, the one with the file that says difficult to place, please hear this. They are not broken. They are not dangerous. They are carrying a love that has not yet found where it belongs. Open the door, say nothing, just stay. They will figure out the rest faster than you expect. Because love, when it is real and when it is deep, does not disappear when the person it was built for is gone. It waits patiently at the edge of a gravel driveway in the rain for 47 hours if it has to. Would you have opened that gate, or would you have driven past like everyone else? Tell me in the comments.